Howdy everyone, welcome to another Sham and COVY'S Emporium of Awesome episode of Vincent's Voice, where today I am going to review the movie Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich. Never played the games before, so I didn't have any expectations going into it other than like people with swords and things fighting big monsters. Like I say, and that's really all. I didn't look at any type of review thing or what the movie was about. So I just went into it with an open mind, and what a great time. Like I said, I didn't really have any expectations going into it, but like I said, this movie was great. I had such a blast with this movie. It was a really feel good movie. It was way better than, like I said, didn't have any expectations, but it was way better than I expected. So if I wasn't thinking much and stuff like that, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be a cool monster movie, and it was. It was great. It was actually quite surprising towards the beginning. Like I said, it had more of a real horror aspect to it. Like, it was like darker and creepy and scary and all that stuff for the first part and all that stuff. They really did an amazing job on stuff with it, and it was quite different than I thought. I didn't think it would have that type in it and stuff, but it was really great. All the monsters and stuff in it stuff looked really good. So I thought they did a great job with all the CGI and stuff, different monsters and the different takes on all the different ones, and there was quite a bit of them also. It wasn't just like, well, you see a little bit here and it's scary and a little bit here. And I was like, no, they throw them right at you. So you get to see a bunch of them. You get to see like 6 or 7 different types and stuff of really cool, different monsters. Have more screen time, of course, and stuff. But just being able to see them was great. This movie had tons of action stuff throughout the whole thing. So it didn't feel forced. It just didn't seem to have to wait too long before you would get your bits of action stuff here and there which was really good. Yeah, like I say, this movie, like, you're not expecting lots of plot. You're not expecting lots of dialogue and that and stuff, which is good, because a lot of these types of movies like with Godzilla and versus Kong the character was just garbage in it and stuff. With this one like I said, they don't talk long enough for you to hate that or to nitpick at that part of the movie and stuff. They're, like I say, they're just thrown into a situation. They're there. They're fighting monsters and stuff. They're trying to understand each other, things like that. And there's, like I say, there's not very much dialogue. There's not very much plot and that. And like I say, that's okay. It makes it for me. It makes it more enjoyable. Not to have all that stuff, whatever, to not necessarily pick up, but like I say, for a lot of times that's the part of the movie that really falters and stuff like that. Is like, oh, they went too much into that or didn't need that and they just left it out here. They just said, okay, we're just gonna have these people get together in this new different world, fighting monsters for whatever reason, trying to get back home to where you are. And like I say, I like it they didn't dwell too much on like at the beginning in one world, and you have like the army and stuff, and I thought that was going to be too much. I thought it was going to be like monsters versus them all the time but it changes from that not too long into another aspect which makes it feel like it was the game. Like I said, I've never played it I've only seen bits or heard from people and that stuff. But like I say, they get away from like modern weapons and things like that, and more into like swords and flame swords and different things like that which I feel would probably be like the game if you can't use the big weapons to take down the monsters. You got to use these swords and weak spots and things like that which made it really cool. Seeing them almost like craft things together that they had to do like you would maybe do in the game to have to take down these obviously terrifying and much bigger monsters for it. So yeah, like I was saying, I had a great time through the whole thing. There's bits and pieces and of course throughout it I felt that like I saying, got to like the third act and towards the end and getting really good another part like, oh, I'd like to really see this part of the world and it kind of and stops and stuff like that and gives you a little taste of what could be if they did a sequel for it, and which I hope it does good enough that it actually gets a sequel because I feel they would go into that part of the movie more, which is what I want to find out more from it. It's almost like, okay, here was the beginning stuff, and then here's a completely different story of what they were doing. Like the first part stuff, they're trying to survive and get to a certain place, and then just at the end, they give you the reason, another reason that things are going on, and then where it could take it also, and gives you a little suspense of like, well, what's that? What's going on there? And also, I want to elaborate more on that. So I'm hoping also if it gets a sequel, I'm hoping also if it's not a terrible sequel, I'm hoping it keeps up also and does the same also as this one does, and just kind of expands also a little bit more also of what's going on also in this different world also that they're in. And yeah, I reckon if you like what you got, you don't have to think too much and stuff like that. You just want to see a bunch of really cool monsters and stuff and things. I definitely recommend stuff watching this movie. You could, even if it's seeing it on stuff on like a big screen or stuff, would be awesome because of the big monsters. But even on the small screen and stuff, it was still very enjoyable. Also, I had a great time with this. It was really good also to watch. And that I'd give this movie a solid 10 out of 12. Just because the amount of the great time that I had for it and all that stuff. So I really liked it. So I'm hoping also if I can find more. But thank you very much also for tuning in also for this review. I will be doing more reviews also very soon. We have things also in the works that we're going to actually rewatch. Me and my cousin also are going to rewatch also like all the MCU movies, and we're going to go through each and every one of them all stuff and kind of review and go rehash and stuff like that also what they are now that we've seen the phase 3 stuff also all the way through before phase 4, and kind of go back also and see if what we still think of the older ones also, if they stand up, if we still like them as much as we do, or we don't like certain parts, things like that. So that'll be fun also to go and analyze all that also when we putting those things out periodically also for it also, which should be fun. So thank you also, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye.